Hello, hi, I am Olivia and I'm a senior bookkeeper, certified QuickBooks Pro advisor, and I'm the owner of Profits and Books Bookkeeping, where we offer bookkeeping services and marketing for small businesses. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please like and subscribe, and don't forget to leave a comment below. Today, I'm going to talk about wealth creation. When you hear wealth creation, what do you think? Right? That it's only for rich people, that only certain kinds of people can get rich. And yet, getting wealthy, it's within the reach of all of us. But we fail because we think getting wealthy, it's overnight, it's instant, it's automatic, and it's easy. It's not. We can get wealthy through many different ways. You can get wealthy by when you have good investment, when you offer a service that thousands or maybe millions of people would need. You can get wealthy when you have a product that everybody wants, right? These are what we call the traditional way of getting wealthy. But what if you don't have any of those things, but you have a job, you have a steady income? Is it then still possible to get wealthy? And this is what it took a long time for me to understand, because I thought you need to be extraordinary, or you must inherit money or win money, or you must have been born into a wealthy family. But it is possible to get wealthy. The number one secret or reason how people began their journey to riches and financial freedom was to spend less than what they make. I will say that again, it is to live within your means. If you calculate the amount of money you pay towards your debt when you look at your salary, just imagine if you did not have that debt, if you didn't have it, what kind of lifestyle you would have, how free you would feel. So, rule number one, it is to live within your means. And what does it mean? Because everyone tells you this: live within your means, spend less than what you earn. How do you do that? You start off by being realistic about what you want and what you need. You need a certain amount of money for food. That's essential. You need to pay your electricity. That's food, electricity, and the roof over your head. Those expenses, you can't get away from it. We get into financial trouble. It's when we have a sense of instant gratification. I can't afford it, but I will buy it. And you pay interest upon interest for things that serves no value in many cases, many instances. So the secret to wealth, to begin to understand it, is to cut down on your spending. Like someone so beautifully said, he said, when you have signed for a certain salary, right? And you can't work overtime, right? That's the salary that you get. You cannot do anything to change that salary to make it more. But for a certain amount of time, unless you get an increase later on. But you cannot change your amount of what you maybe will get for a whole year. But what you do have control over is how you spend it. And one of the key things to wealth is to value your money. People who understand money, people who are rich, who are wealthy, they understand money. They understand the value of every single rand. We live in South Africa, and when you look around you, many of your publications, when you watch the news, it will tell you, it will remind you of poverty. It will remind you how hard things are, how difficult things are, how people are struggling. But is it then possible under these circumstances to dream of wealth? Definitely, it is. And it's not an unrealistic, far-fetched goal. It starts with absolute resilience, with determination, with a vision for yourself, to have a goal for yourself, to have a plan, and to have an alternative. And when you go and look at the stories of people who got wealthy, most of them, they got wealthy because they wanted to serve humanity. You might not want to serve humanity, but you want to be comfortable. You want your children to be taken care of. You want to retire in relative comfort. Those goals are enough to put you on the road to riches. But when you have reached the decision that you want to be rich, certain things needs to change. Your thinking. I know, it sounds tired and like a cliche. Your thinking keeps you poor. But let me explain that to you. The difference between someone who will stay poor forever and the one who were born poor or they come from poverty, but they get wealthy. The difference is their thinking, because the one who's looking for wealth, for riches, and you will have a vision. He will understand the sacrifices. He will look for solutions, and he won't take anything for granted. And he won't have excuses. He will hold himself accountable and he will take responsibility for his decisions. He will understand that if education is my way out of riches, I need to study hard. For me to study hard, I need to spend time on my books. I need to get enough rest. And he will do those things because he has identified his way out of poverty. The one who will most probably stay poor because of his thinking is the one who will blame the government, blame his income, blame his upbringing, his circumstances, his friends. That is where it starts, whether you can accept poverty or you can reject it and fight every single day of your life. You fight for that vision, for that goal, and that plan that you have. And you will understand it will go with sacrifices. It will come with sacrifices. It will come with disappointments, setbacks, heartache, isolation. But because you have that vision, you will not stop until you have reached your goal. So can you see the difference the thinking make? And who do you surround yourself with? Are your friends keeping you poor? Why I'm asking that, what is the conversation that you have? Who do you speak to? Do you hang out with people who talk about business, hustling, selling stuff, coming up with new ideas, who talk about the big dreams that they have, how they're going to achieve it? Or are you talking to people? Are you hanging out with people who are always bragging? Look at me, I've got this. Look at me, I bought that. Look at me, I'm wearing the most expensive clothes. Who are you hanging out with? Because who you are with will have an influence on your mind. It will either keep you in poverty, keep you in that situation you don't want to be in, or the company that you keep will motivate you, inspire you, and support you to get to where you need to go. And when you look at getting rich, it started with a desire It started with a goal, a plan, and someone took action. Nothing is going to happen if you don't do what is required. So, what is it that you need to do to start on your way to wealth, to comfort? And look, wealth is relative. It's relative. For some people, when you drive a $20 million car, that's wealth. For others, if you have like a $5,000 car, that is wealth. So, what is wealth to you? Without looking at other people, without comparing, but what does it mean to you when you say, I want to be rich, I want to be wealthy? You can start off by saving. Once you have discovered what wealth means to you, then start off by saving. Just read the stories of all the successful men. A lot of them, somewhere in between, you will see they had to save to be able to afford the thing that will start them on the journey to wealth. Don't let anyone tell you that you were born to be poor. Don't let anyone tell you that there are no opportunities, because opportunities are where you look for them. But you must just be able to see them, to accept them, and to do something about them. So remember, the number one reason why we keep on being poor, it's our thinking. It's not wanting to take responsibility for our decisions. And when it comes to taking responsibility, I'm talking about your financial decisions. When you have 200 Rand, South African rands, when you have 200 rands right now, and you say, I want to get rich, is it possible? Yes. Not to be rich with the 200 rand, but to start the journey. You have two options. You can go depending on what your need is, because sometimes that 200 rand is just enough to buy food. It's just enough to cover your basic needs. But say your goal is that you want to grow your wealth, and suddenly you have an extra 200 rand. Everything has been paid. You have enough food, transport is sorted, everything else is sorted. Now you must decide what you're going to do with your 200 rand. Are you going to spend it on pleasure, or are you going to spend it on something that will make you money? Once you make that distinction every single time when you have extra money, you are beginning to lay the foundation to become wealthy. And expect to work hard, to do your best, to have sacrifices, and know that this is a long-term plan. And try your best to avoid debt at all cost, because debt will strangle you, it will imprison you, and it will burden you unnecessarily. So try and get out of debt as soon as possible and start working towards building your wealth. But if your debt is so much that you can't see your way out, then take a portion, not all of your money, but pay your minimum debts, but take an amount and put it away to start saving towards financial relief. It's not easy. It's not overnight. It's very technical, but it's possible, and the rewards are unbelievable. I am Olivia, and this is the channel Business, and I'll just repeat it. I am Olivia, and this is the channel Business and what?
And Finances.
Oh, I am Olivia, and this is the channel Business and Finances, with Olivia Sambo. Thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe this video, leave comments below and share it as much as you can.